So Newsminute covered this in June 2021. A 50-year-old pastor in West Godavari of Andhra Pradesh impregnated a 14-year-old minor. The Hindu reported that in July 2021, a 46-year-old pastor in Kakinada, Alavala Sudhakar, molested a 10-year-old child. India TV, published the report that in 2019, Emily Raj, a pastor, molested a 14-year-old child in Anantapuramu in Tadipatri, Andhra.
Namaste, very good evening and welcome to Chiti Media. My name is Sharan Sethi and you're watching the Current Affairs Show. Today, joining us is Prerna Tiruvaipaati ji again. Namaste Prerna ji, very good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, but here we are here to discuss something very serious today. Attacks against Dalits have risen astronomically in Andhra Pradesh since the last few years. And if in one of the incidents that happened very recently, Pastor Father Uppalapati Ravindra Prasanna Kumar was arrested by Kurnool police after the National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights intervention was done a few days ago for sexually harassing two minor girls. Now, Father Kumar was also appointed as the district president for Kurnool for the Kurnool chapter by the National Christian Board just about a month ago. You have been very actively involved in this case. You have been pursuing this case for a very long time, and finally there has been some updates on this. Now, for our viewers, could you update us on what exactly is the case about and what has been going on?
Okay, so on 12th of this month, November, we received a video and this horrific details regarding the molestation of two minor girls inside a church in Kurnool district. The name of the church was Covenant Church, and these two minor girls, their video had gone viral where they had given a confession about what had happened to them inside the church. Now that video was in Telugu. A lot of Telugu media channels, after it came out, after it went viral, they covered it. But what had happened was on 12th, from our friends at LRPF, Legal Rights Protection Forum, they contacted me on 12th of November at around about 6 p.m. Right. And informed me about this case. And I received that video of those two girls confessing in Telugu that they were molested by this pastor named Uppalapati Ravindra Prasanna Kumar in Changalamari district of Kurnool, Changalamari Mandal of Kurnool district. So I drafted a letter to the NCPCR, attached the video of those girls. I was also supposed to do a transliteration because it was in Telugu into English. However, that video was so disturbing and quite disgusting. I wasn't able to do that. So anyhow, at 8 o'clock, we sent all the details, the pastor's name, his house address, the letter given to us, which states that he's the district president of the National Church Board, right. District president, Kurnool district president of the National Church Board. So we received all those documents from LRPF, from our friends at LRPF. So I attached all those evidences and I sent it to NCPCR. So during tough times, the first person you think about is your guru. So I gave a call to my guru, Shri Sanjeev Newar, and I informed him because he's worked with a lot of these cases and he works closely with the NCPCR. I gave him a call after drafting the letter, sent him a copy of everything, and I told him, something needs to be done. What happened, I'll just tell you the chronological order of this. So I came to know about this on 12th of November. This incident took place on 6th of October 2021, right. A month before. Yeah. No FIR was lodged. Now these two girls, they are minors, below the age of 10 years. Both of them, unfortunately, do not have a father. Their mothers, their respective mothers, apparently took them to the police station in that Changalamari Mandal of Kurnool district. And they alleged that the SI over there, a very notorious guy, tried to settle the matter and didn't even file a complaint.
Right.
So this is the information we had initially gotten. So I put all those details in my letter. I've shared a copy with you guys. I sent that letter to NCPCR, CC'd in Sanjeev Nevarji, and he in the middle of the night spoke to Priyanka Agnuji, who's the chairman of NCPCR, who's doing a wonderful job, by the way. And within 5 to 7 hours of us drafting the letter and even emailing it to NCPCR, that guy got arrested that same night at 1:30 a.m. in the night. So Priyanka Agnuji actually called up the SP of Kurnool district and had this pastor arrested, because we had all the details, where he lives, what he does, the girl's confession. There was prima facie evidence for everything. So they arrested him at 1:30. My grouse is, for 1 month, no action was taken by the Andhra police. Andhra also has this special court for women called the Nirbhaya, Disha. Pardon me, it's not Nirbhaya, it's the Disha police. There's a special police in Andhra Pradesh. Like in Hyderabad as well, in Telangana, we have something called the Bharosa team, which is for women and children, Bharosa. In Andhra, we have Disha. The case wasn't even registered. In fact, the mothers have alleged that the SI took money from the accused pastor, Uppalapati, Prasanna Kumar, Ravindra Kumar, Prasanna Kumar, and tried to settle the matter. He gave some money to both the mothers. Right. And in the video, the girls clearly say that their grandfather, they went to the grandfather and told their grandfather, but the grandfather was drunk at that point in the night. Right. And in the video, the girls also clearly say that they were molested inside the Covenant Church in Kurnool. And there was also a female accomplice there, along with this pastor. Right. There is no mention of that female in the FIR.
It almost feels as if they particularly target these children who are from very vulnerable families.
Yes, that has always been the case. Even when it comes to forced conversion marriages, Islamic marriages, or whether it's even Christian marriages, when there's no father figure over there or a strong male member over there, those families are, numero uno targets.
And is this an isolated incident, Prernaji, or has this been happening? Is there a pattern to this in Andhra Pradesh?
In Andhra Pradesh, there's definitely a pattern. Right. And what normally happens, Charanji, like we all know, these people, they get caught for the first time. It doesn't mean that they have not molested other women or children.
Yeah.
It's just that he got caught this time. So he must be doing this from a very long time. And he's on such a high post, it's such a commanding post, that he's the district president of the National Christian Board. And we have that certificate with us, the letter of his appointment letter as a district head. So he misused his position, his power and everything, and he molested 2 young girls. Now, after we sent that letter, after he was arrested, I think once the video went viral and the news went viral that we've contacted NCPCR and everything, we came to know that the girls belong to the Dalit community. They are SC. Now, technically, if somebody is an SC, they cannot be Christian. They are Hindu. But this incident happened inside a church.
Right.
So my guess is the mothers must have converted. Anyhow, they don't have a husband, vulnerable situation. Maybe the mothers have converted. But anyway, the next day I got a call. I think on the 13th or on the 14th. Once I put up the video and the letters were put up by the SC/ST forum and LRPF guys. After so many of us started putting out videos, and Off India had covered the news as well, I got a call from the MCSC South chairman. And he told me that, you haven't, have you written a petition to us? I said, no, I haven't. I've written to the NCPCR. I haven't written to the NCSC because this happened in a church. You can't go to a church and then be an SC. Constitutionally, and it's illegal. You're wrong.
This is one of the reasons why you did not approach the National Commission.
No, normally we approach the National Commission.
Right.
In fact, after the 2018 Sultanpuri case, there was a huge case in 2018 cracked by Swati Goel Sharma ji and Sanjeev Newar ji. 2018 Sultanpuri case where this guy Saddam Ansari, a 32-year-old man at that time, in 2018 he was 32 and the girl was 14 years old. He abducted her and it took a great deal to rescue that girl. And that led to 3 policy changes. That one case led to 3 policy changes. The first policy change was if the child is a minor, automatically they have to put the POCSO, POCMA, both.
Right.
And if the victim's parents or family, whoever comes to make the complaint in the police station, say that they belong to the SC or ST community, automatically the SC/ST Atrocity Act should be put in place. This is the second policy change. And there was a third policy change. Third policy change was because it's a minor, all police, the police station has to inform all the bus stops, train stations, and airports to stop human trafficking.
Right.
So so these were 3 policy changes. Now, what had happened is, in this Kurnool case of these 2 minor girls, they did not even register an FIR.
Right.
They leave alone POCSO, leave alone SC/ST atrocity, nothing. They just paid them money and told them, let's settle it over here.
Right.
But once NCPCR got involved, and then once the NCSC was informed about this, I again wrote to the NCSC. I made another complaint to the NCSC and CC'd in the National Commission of Scheduled Caste Central and as well as the South, as well as NCPCR chairman. CC'd in 2 people and wrote a letter again to the South NCSC saying that these people belong to the scheduled caste community.
Right.
Why we do this is the case becomes way stronger. The police cannot muck around. They cannot, there is no way that they cannot file an FIR. There's no way that they cannot arrest that guy.
Right.
The action is very strict because NCSC is very particular. NCPCR or NCSC, they do a fabulous job. They only give you an ATR, action taken report, and they give you like 30 days, or they give you a period of 15 days or 24 hours, So they work very precisely and perfectly. So we wrote to the NCSC and, we're waiting to see what happens. That guy is being put behind bars.
Right.
Girls deserve to get justice.
Hopefully that happens sooner than we expect. But what's the way forward, especially because there is such a huge pattern to it, right? I mean, you've also documented the kind of cases that have happened in the last 4 to 5 years, I think.
Yeah. So I'll tell you. So news meter, I'm quoting the newspaper. I'll quote you the year, the age of the pastor, name of the pastor, the place in Andhra. So I'm only covering Andhra here.
Only Andhra Pradesh, right?
Yeah. And what was the age of the victim?
Sure.
So News Minute covered this in June 2021. A 50-year-old pastor in West Godavari of Andhra Pradesh impregnated a 14-year-old minor. The Hindu reported that in July 2021, a 46-year-old pastor in Kakinada, Alavala Sudhakar, molested a 10-year-old child. India TV, published the report that in 2019, Emily Raj, a pastor, molested a 14-year-old child in Anantapuramu in Tadipatri, Andhra. News Minute covered in 2018 that in Chittoor district, a pastor named Pannir Selvan molested a 12-year-old girl, and he was arrested in Gujula Mandyam district of Andhra. Asianet Newsable reported in 2017 a 54-year-old pastor, Didde Ebenezer, was arrested in Renigunta for molesting a minor. So, he was also arrested in 2015. This Didde Ebenezer was arrested even in 2015 for molesting women. He apparently made women, adult women, stand nude in candlelight. He was arrested before as well. So most of these people are repeat offenders. Siyasat newspaper reported that in 2014, K. Jayaraj, a pastor from Guntur, molested a 13-year-old girl. India Today, April 2018, a 38-year-old Subbaya, Pastor Subbaya, who owns a Kirana shop, molested a 11-year-old girl in Valampadu, pardon me, Valampadu in Andhra. 2019, what happened is, so these are the cases I'm just talking about Andhra.
Right.
So you can clearly see they are pastors and they are molesting minor girls.
Right.
Apart from molesting,
Is there a response from the church on this, or any other organization that's associated with the church?
yes. So in 2019, the National Commission of Minorities, the NCM, the then Vice Chairman George Kurianji, actually wrote to the Home Ministry complaining that there's an increase in the number of molestation cases of minors and women in the church. But prior to this, in 2018 itself, the NCSC then Vice Chairman L. Muruganji wrote to the Home Ministry, Amit Shah, for a NIA probe. He requested an NIA probe and he requested Amit Shah ji to actually.
Why is a NIA probe required in this matter? I mean, does it concern national security, Prerna ji?
Yes, because the girls, the Dalit girls were being trafficked internationally. They were being sold. And they were being sold via Bangladesh, Nepal, and these areas.
Right.
It was a big racket that was uncovered. So the then chairman L. Muruganji wrote to the Home Ministry, and it was Swarajya magazine who actually covered this. This is, after the Sultanpuri Saddam Ansari case. Right. Also in Andhra Pradesh, the Hindu covered that in 2020, the Telugu Mahila wing, that is a women's wing of the TDP party, the Telugu Desam party's women's wing, Vanglapudi Anita Garu, she wrote a letter to the NCSC and to the NCW regarding the increase in the cases of, molestation of children and women. Right. So, especially with the Dalit.
Is there a response from the Andhra Pradesh government or the Kurnool police about what's been happening? So now that
so in this particular Kurnool case of those two minor girls, yes, the SP was contacted. In fact, the NCW South chairman wrote to, he actually wrote to the SP. Right. I have a copy of that letter here with me. He sent a letter to the SP and requested the SP to look into this case personally. Here you go. You can actually see it if it's clear.
Yeah, we'll upload all of these documents to a drive and put it on a particular folder, and we'll make it publicly accessible so any of our viewers will be able to access it.
Yeah. So these are the letters action, for action to be taken against that particular pastor. So, right. But the disappointing thing is so many people have to get involved in this. So the LRPF was trying to, contact NCPCR. Me via my organization Hindu Jan Shakti tried to contact the NCPCR. My guru Sanjeev Neva from there. But the great thing is Priyank Kagnuji as the chairman, he's done a fabulous job.
Right.
Fabulous job so far. And the NCSC chairman for the South, he kudos to him as well. He personally contacted me on the phone, sent me the acknowledgement that he's received the complaint. He wrote a letter to the SP. So now at least the police will take, will be serious and take action. So earlier what has happened in all these cases is ever since the government change has happened in Andhra Pradesh, there's been an increase in the Christian conversions. Right. And the top bureaucracy, most of them, this is not a rumor or anything. This is because we deal with a lot of cases in Andhra Pradesh. Most of the top bureaucrats and top cops are all crypto-Christian.
Right.
Otherwise, where will an SI have the guts to do this kind of thing? Not register a case, that is a POXO case.
Right.
How from where do they get this kind of confidence and guts? And it's the same SI. I don't mind naming him because we've named him online on Twitter as well. This guy called E. Maruti, he's an SI in in that Charima, that district in Kurnool.
Yeah.
This guy was Op India actually covered this pretty well. This guy in 2020 had abused a Indian Army Jawan during lockdown.
Right.
He was on VR. He came back a couple of months back in 2021. He was put on VR after abusing an Indian Army Jawan on camera. It was caught on camera, him beating the hell out of an Indian Army Jawan. And, after coming back from VR, this is what he does with minor children's case.
Right.
This is the state of affairs there in
And
Andhra.
how do you think this can be addressed? Because obviously there are so many loopholes, there are so many difficulties, and without any support from the state machinery or organizations like yours, individually people won't be able to step forward and do anything to protect themselves, right? And especially when there is a clear pattern that's coming out to be more visible. And this has a larger repercussion because it starts proliferating into other states, and this is almost like the spotlight case where the sexual abuse goes all up to the Vatican, where there was an active effort to cover up many of these cases.
Right. So the thing is, we just discussed Andhra today, but this is the case all over. Like I said, the minority vice chairman wrote to the Home Ministry. So these cases are there all over India. They're just not being reported in such a big way because the left-wing media outlets believe that there's nothing called as love jihad or forced conversion, in the name of love. They believe that doesn't exist. They try to deny it all the time.
Yeah.
And the non-left, even if we cover it, I think you and I have had this discussion over the phone as well. If we quote a non-left portal like Op India or Swarajya, people say that they're far right, they're fascist, they're bhaks or whatever they get called names. The thing is, it is happening all over. Cases are being registered. If you have to see how much amount of money that the NCSC had to pay in compensation to these minors or to these Dalit victims, that gives a clearer picture, right? The NCSC has always been involved. They have paid for the treatment for these children, for the rehabilitation or some sort of compensation. So the NCSC themselves are proof that this is happening.
Right.
Not just news reports. There's so much compensation coming from the government to these victims.
And all of this is happening while an anti-conversion law is being debated in Karnataka. The same sort of arguments that were probably used is being used today as we speak. And when I go through news reports, they're putting up the same old argument, saying that what if a Hindu priest were to offer food to some other person from from a different community? Would you call that an attempt to convert people? Whereas clearly, I think the church is on the back foot. They're denying what is happening instead of acknowledging that yes, there are a few rotten apples and that we will clean them up and that we will take the legal action, instead of appointing them as district presidents of the National Christian Board. And if there is a way in which we can contact the local Christian organizations to get a response on this, please do let us know, and please do keep us updated on what exactly happens with this case. And of course, we and everybody else who watches this is in deep admiration of the kind of work that you and our other brother and sister organizations are doing.
Thank you so much. It's just that we want this to stop. One more thing, if I have a minute, Sharanji, I'd just like to add, please. Parents need to be aware. I know now parents are teaching their children about the good touch, bad touch, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So whether Hindu, Muslim, Christian, it doesn't matter which religion you belong to. Please be careful where you're sending your kids and who you're trusting your children with. Because those two girls were left in the with a female accomplice in the church where they got molested. The parents weren't there, the mothers weren't there, the grandfather wasn't there, none of the relatives were there. It was one lady, this monster predator, and those two little girls inside a church.
It's not just young girls too, even young boys.
Young boys. So we just heard the horrific thing in Pakistan where a 6-year-old boy was sodomized and died, right? We're just seeing those horrific reports now on the Guru Purnima Day. So Guru Parv pardon me,
Okay.
Gurupad, and this is what has happened to a small 6-year-old Sikh boy. So the thing is, parents need to be very careful. They need to be aware. And in the name of religion, I don't see any Bollywood bimbos standing with the placards or with the candles, like how they did it for Katwa. This is Covenant Church. Why isn't anybody coming out on the streets? Why are there just 2 or 3 organizations and 2 or 3 people, screaming and screeching on social media that this has happened? Where is the justice for this girl? We are unknown people. We are just common citizens in this country. Why do we have to do this? Where are all these Bollywood bimbos? No movie releases, I think, now. That's why nobody comes out, about the protest for churches and candlelight marches.
Right. Again, Prerna ji, on a concluding note, hats off to all the work that you and your organization is doing. And furthermore, if there are any updates on the case, please do join us again to discuss all of these.
Great. Thank you so much, Sharanji. Thank you so much, Chitty Media, for covering this. A lot of mainstream media wasn't doing it. But thank you so much for covering this
Thank
case.
you so much, Prerna ji. You're the real
Pray
hero.
for the girls that they get justice. Yes, please. Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
to all our viewers, please do read more, and every single fact and a statement that has been discussed today has concrete evidence backed up by letters written to the NCSE, to the NCPCR, and the National Christian Board's appointment of this said pastor also has a scene and a style from the same organization itself. And all of these letters are going to be uploaded in a drive where you can publicly access it. So there's concrete evidence for every single statement that has been discussed today. Furthermore, please do support organizations that Prerna ji has been involved with, because they're doing a fantastic work by putting an end to all the predators that are out there to molest young children. On that note, we will be concluding today's current affairs shows. And if there are any more updates on this particular case, you will be hearing first from us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.